Hello, this is Katie again, and this is card number 7. The last one was 6, I remember that. I'm going to be using the Waffle Flower Hocus Pocus stamp set. I did a poll on Instagram, and you said yes, versus a different set. I didn't pick 2 sets, but anyway. And then I showed it to my husband and told him that I had to make a card video, and so he decided the sentiment and which pieces to use and where to put them. So you'll see how that goes out or lays out. And then I have a card base, just a regular card base. And then this paper was from a pack of papers from, I can't remember. I think it was like a Doodlebug pack. An older one, because I think I got it at like Tuesday morning or something. But I'm going to do a band of the purple and then a band of white. I thought of doing ink blending, but honestly it kind of gives me a headache, and so I wanted to take a break from ink blending. And I've just been doing too much of it. So it'll just be like that, and the scene and the sentiment will all be on here. So you'll see how that lays out. I have on my travel size Tim Holtz stamp platform, I have the witch, the cauldron, the little steam that comes out of the cauldron, the little, it's not a beaker, but a little potion glass thing that she'll be holding, and then the spider web. And the spider I'm going to stamp separate because he's the only thing for the die cut. The die cut doesn't cover this as well, so I'm going to stamp that where I want it and then stamp him again and die cut him out on just a separate piece of this paper, but not on the platform. So I'm going to be using Copics, so I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. I know there are others that are good for Copic coloring, like every company has come out with one at this point. Lawn Fawn has one, My Favorite Things has one, but I mean Memento has been there since the beginning for me. It's been probably 8 years now. And they're still around and they still work and I can still buy it easily, so I've just kind of stuck with it. I never had a reason to give another black ink a try. And I'm using this stamp platform because I want to make sure I get a good black image to color in. It's not too bad, but it could be better. And I've picked out my markers that I want to use to color these in with, and I've set them kind of in front of me and all around. You can probably see some of them up there. So I'll stamp these. I'll probably color these in first, and then I'll use my sidekick to die cut them out. So that is good. I'm going to wipe these off. I use, my stamp chamois is not wet at the moment. I use alcohol swabs. I haven't hurt my stamps yet, so for me it's working just fine. And I just buy the little boxes of them in the drugstore section where those are. And they clean all the black ink off really well. It's not drying out my stamps that I know of yet. So, put these guys back in. And then get them colored. I'm not quite sure what to do for the spider web. Color-wise, I might just end up cutting that out without giving it any color, but we'll see. Okay, so take these out for now. Okay, so I will zoom in a little bit while I color, just so you can see. I have like these caps where I can set it here so you know what I'm using, but I have a lot of Chow markers too, where that's not the case. So the Chow one is V15. That's the lightest. I have V09 and V17. And then V15 will be the lightest one. So I think I'm going to do her hat and her dress in the purples. Just to kind of go with the purple background, I thought about maybe doing her dress orange, but I think I'll throw some orange into her tights or something instead. These are getting harder and harder to get into little tiny corners with. So I'm just going to go kind of underneath things for the shadow aspect, and then down the sides. So that was V09, V17. Make sure I'm still in view with you. And just kind of blend out the sides. And then her little neck wrap thing. Okay. And then V15 to blend the rest of it out. It's definitely a different purple, but it eventually blends pretty well if you keep blending it out a little bit. I'm just now realizing in her hat she has like berries and leaves and stuff, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll throw some orange and green in there. All right. So I'll do the rest of her sleeves filled in with the other purple. If you heard my cat, he's just hungry all the time. I give up. He's never happy. And he's been meowing about it, which is not completely normal. My cats don't really meow. My girl cat does not meow. My boy will meow when he's hungry, but not repeatedly that often. Let's see. Hoping this looks okay. I'm trying to work on my, like, where I'm shading things and blending them. And you can also do things like, let's say V17, the middle color, just like touch your lightest marker to it and just kind of pick up some to help blend it out a little bit. So if I wanted to pick up some and then go through the middle again, rather than taking the V17 to the page again, you're kind of using just a little bit of it on your light marker. These are things they teach you in like Copic classes and stuff, which I haven't taken, but plenty of people on the internet have given many tips, no pun intended, to help blend out those colors that aren't quite close enough to each other. You can make them work. So I think that looks pretty cute shading wise. I don't want to make this too long. I think I'll do the green on the Cauldron with you, because I think I'm going to use the C markers, the C9, C7, and C5 on here, and a little, just an orange and a yellow for the flame. In fact, Y15 is going to be this part. I'm not going to bother blending two yellows. And then I will use YR16 for a little orange flame there. And then for the greens, I think I want to do the darker one on the edge here and then lighter on the inside. So I've got YG09 and YG05 So we will blend YG09 as the darker one here, and just blend 2 colors. It's not too dark, but they still work together pretty well. I had gotten these together for the inside, but then I realized that there was this like drippage over the edge, and I wanted the brighter one to be on the outside. So that looks good for me. The inside of the cauldron, I just went over the edge a little bit, is going to be this the dark C9 anyway, so I'll do that part now. I'm hoping I don't run into the bubbles here. Some of my Copics have a very, very thin little kind of stringy thread at the end. It's just part of the marker, but I need to get my detail scissors out and trim them off because they're ruining my coloring sometimes. So for the inside, I'm doing YG23 and YG03. YG03 is the first darker one, I suppose. Just kind of blend that out a little bit. Something went over the edge there. And then YG23. And then I'll use these two as the little steam colors actually as well. Looking at my chart, I feel like this marker kind of dried funny, so I don't know if it's the true color of it anymore. One of them was supposed to be darker than the other, but that's fine. Some of these I'll probably use some glossy accents on, or this new Nuvo Deluxe adhesive is actually the same, except it comes out white. So the glossy accents is the clear kind of foggy stuff. This comes out white. They both dry clear. I tested this on the inside of like a pumpkin face just to see how it dried, and I was pretty impressed with it. So I think I'll leave this spider web as is, and then fill this little guy with just green stuff that she will be pouring in. And let's see, I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to pause while I finish coloring in the rest of the images. Okay, I cut out, or finished coloring and then cut out those guys. I'll put together the card base, so I'll set those aside. Do the purple first. Just make sure that's the front of the card. The back of that paper is pretty cute too. I think I like the purple more, but it's got really cute little saying bubbles on the back. Alright, just lay this flat to make it easier. In the middle. Okay, and then I want to kind of set this up but stamp the sentiment while it's not on the background, just in case. So we'll have her and her cauldron. Then she'll be holding that. And that will be coming out of there. And they'll have that. Then I'll do the spider coming down. I'm going to set him aside for a second because I have all the sentiments on my blocks already. Okay, so that over here. Spider will be coming down. So, and I'll be, I'm gonna put clear embossing powder on it, so I actually need to run my embossing bag over it. I keep forgetting to do this part when it comes to embossing some sentiments, so I don't want to forget that. Okay, put her back. Cauldron. I really just need to know where those are going to be. Okay, so I'm going to use black VersaFine for the We Go Together Like portion of it. That'll go up here. And then we're going to do Hocus in green. Hoping this works out well. This is just regular Distress ink, the little cubes. Hold it there for a second. And then the and will be, we'll do here, just black VersaFine, and then, so the green was Mowed Lawn. This is Wilted Violet for Pocus. Okay. Distress inks aren't the greatest for stamping, but that is okay. So I'm going to grab clear embossing powder. And then plug in my gun here. So I just have my clear in this tub here. I have a couple other tubs I never labeled, so I need to use it on something and figure out what they are. I'm hoping this will stick to at least some of it. Might not quite stick to the Distress inks, but that's fine. I know that's not what they're for. It may have worked better with a Distress Oxide, but I don't have green. That's very Halloween-y. Okay, I'm going to warm up my gun and then melt this down. Okay, so I think a couple dots, really nothing, stuck to the Hocus Pocus, which I didn't expect it to, but the VersaFine is pigmented, so that works. Then I'll stamp the spider, so I'll put this over here, and then we will pick up Mr. Spider. So I'm going to stick down his spider web really quick, and then we'll have him coming down from that. It's got a little warped from drying it. I'll just use Memento, and then I'm going to stamp him again and die cut him out so that he can stand up a little bit. I don't want that on there. Okay. So then on the rest of the scrap paper, I will stamp just the spider again. And then we'll die cut him out. I just have my side kick ready to go. I went through all the dies and I couldn't figure out what that last one was, but it eventually is the shape of this spider. You just have to figure out the right angle for it. I think it's this way. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna pause while I die cut him out because I need to figure out which direction this goes. Okay, so I cut him out. That took way too long to figure out. I'm going to put this down onto the card base and then we'll build the rest of it. I just replaced my tape gun cartridge, so it's running very smoothly, which is lovely. Okay, so let's see. I think I'll raise him up on a little bit of foam. It's going to have to be a small piece. Let's do this and probably that much. And I feel like I should color him in a little bit. Maybe he can be a little orange, just to be creepy. And then I'll use C9 and we'll make him orange and dark grayish. There. Okay, so then some foam for the backs of these guys. And then hopefully my glossy accents isn't clogged, so I can add some shine to these guys. I'll do 2 pieces on the cauldron. This one will have to be a little thinner. Alright. So we will have little witch right here. And then her cauldron. Oh, and then I cut out her little, this is going to need a very little piece. Let's go with this one. Very little piece of foam. So we'll give her her little beaker that she's going to pour into it. And then these can be coming out of it. And I feel like I want to add a different, some more green or different greens. Just so they don't look so much like each other. So maybe just some edges, a little darker green. Then I'll take one of the lighter greens and just kind of blend it back out. Okay. All right, so that is the layout there. And then we'll use the glossy accents. Hopefully it's behaving. And glossy up the bottle and what's in it. we'll just put it on the whole bottle since it's glass. And then the stuff that's in there, and then let's see, I'll put some on the fire too. Not that it would be shiny, but just to add it a little elsewhere. And then the spider. Okay. Alright, so that is it. Hopefully you can see the little shiny bits there. And I hope to make some more cards with the set because it is really cute. And now I know how to cut out the spider. Yeah, so that is the Waffle Flower Crafts Hocus Pocus set and card number 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7. I also want to show you really quickly, I was making some embellishments and I was trying to practice folding the crepe paper to then staple it. So I was practicing on little ones and not doing so great, but I made some like ticket things, and so I put one of those on here, and then these ones I just put stickers on that I got from little sticker sheets at the dollar store. And then this one I was practicing on doing a bigger one. I got purple crepe paper. I got purple and black. They didn't have any orange, just at the dollar store. So I practiced with that. I did okay. So I did a circle of just some paper, more dollar store stickers. This was in a pack from maybe Michael's. And then 2 glitter enamel dots. But if it doesn't come out as a circle, you can just look up. I probably won't do a tutorial. Obviously, I don't really know what I'm doing, but look up crepe paper Halloween embellishments, and you can find like Little Hot Tamale does one. I'm sure Sabrina Ann covers one, and probably Serena B. But if it didn't come out as a like a round circle, which it didn't for me, I just went around it with scissors and kind of made it a circle. So I cut off some pointy edges, and it looked a lot better. And then I just put some foam tape without taking these off so that it is an embellishment you can stick on something. So I've been working on some of those, and then I made little flags that I stapled. I've been trying to use my tiny attacher, which is just a mini stapler from Tim Holtz. And so I made some little flag taggy things with some of the creepy sentiments from the stickers from Tim Holtz from Michael's, and some other stickers I found as well. So that is all, and thank you for watching. Bye.